Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Reese number 202-203 series equipment. And what we've got here are both pieces, and we're going to go over them one at a time. Let's start with the 202. First of all, this is an interlocking style of weather stripping. And generally, where you're going to see this installed is at the head of a door. It will be an integrated sort of drip cap and weather stripping application. I believe you'd be able to get away using it at the lock side as well, but it's really intended for a header. Don't believe it's going to work at the hinge side. This is the 202. Okay, this is the drip cap sort of feature to it. While we have the 202 in our hands, let's go over the dimensional properties. Not a lot of dimensions are given from Reese, unfortunately. But here we go. About 1 1/8" overall height. If we're going to be looking at the face of it, you've got about 7/8 of an inch to the underside of the lip, and they're saying 3/8 to the top. So you're going to have about 1/4 inch from here down to the bottom. And this is going to be the part that will install on your header. Now, here is the 203. In our scenario, it's going to look like this. Okay? We've got a 1 inch overall height on this piece. That's correct. Then a projection off the face of the door is going to put you at about 9/16. Let's capture the projection of this unit as well. We didn't get that the first time. Closer to the 11th or 3/4 inch. Now, here's how this works. This is mounted to the header. This is mounted to the top of the door. Well, I mean, you can obviously get that sense of the operation when you look at the picture, but that's what it looks like in real life sort of scenario. Very effective sort of seal. This is going to be incredibly effective at keeping rain and water, moisture, etc., from getting inside the crucial 1/8 of an inch margin between the top of the door and the bottom of the header. And quite frankly, that's where the damage comes from. The water getting in there, because what happens is it gets inside of, if we're speaking of a metal door, it gets inside of the top channel. Okay, it's generally spot welded. There are going to be not microscopic, but too small to measure voids, and that water will get inside the door. And that's why you'll see a door that's rusted out at the bottom, but it certainly looks as if it's rusted from the inside. And that's exactly how it happens. They literally rust from the inside. The problem with steel doors is the adhesive that is used, or the core insulation material that is used, generally is not formulated to stick to a prime coated face of steel. So the interior of the steel sheets are not primed at all. So doors literally can rust from the inside. And people in the know, people that make a living installing doors and frames, while they may not use an interlock style, here's what we have. We have 3 levels of door installers. People who don't use drip caps or any sort of way to help keep the rain out at all. Then we've got people that install drip caps, of which Reese manufactures them. Greater projection just helps drive the rain away. And then there are people who buy this material because they know that it's better up front, that you will significantly increase the health of the opening for a much greater amount of time by really keeping the water out as best you can. I've got a client in the Pacific Northwest that buys this material constantly for his installations, and he knows it's effective. And the fellow's been installing doors for 20 years, and that's how he makes a living. So there's some correlation between success and this product when it comes to an item that will naturally rust. Okay, so that's what your Okay, so preaching over. That's what your installation looks like. Known to be very effective. You've got a silicone seal that's in here. Okay, and that's what it's going to look like. You could get away installing that, like I said, probably in the lock side, but the pivot point for the hinge side is not going to work, and that's just what these are for. Available in the clear anodized finish. This is the D finish for dark anodized bronze, and also the G finish for gold anodized. All of those very common and typical. Screws are going to be included, and what's nice about Reese is that these are tech screws or self-drilling screws. I'm not a fan of self-drilling tech screws, but I'm in the minority of people that feel that way. If you have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces and indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. The reasoning is if you had to cut these 36-inch pieces down to, say, 32-inch, you'd eliminate those slotted holes. And those slotted holes are really nice to have because they're going to allow you to tailor the opening so that you're really centered properly. And obviously, the way I am now is not. Okay. Crucial, because you've got a tight 1/8 of an inch margin at the top of the door, and any misalignment here is going to prevent your door from operating correctly, especially if you've got a door closer. You'll have trouble with that. So those slotted holes are handy to have. Also helping compensate for a misdrilled hole as well, even with a tech screw. If you're not pre-drilling the holes, the drill bit has a tendency to walk a little bit before it pierces in, and it's likely that you'll have a challenge if you've got a concrete or grout, filled frame at the header. And a little trick, speaking of that, if you're installing a hollow metal frame from scratch and you know you're going to use this, what some guys will do will take some 3/4 inch foam, rigid foam, and put masking tape inside of the header. When the frame is installed, the mason will install it, grout, fill it, except for that area where you'll be able to get your drill bit into and get yourself installed correctly. Anyway, the point of the matter is if you order a custom length, we'll not only locate those slotted holes at the proper distance from the edge, but the proper center to center as well. Reese is a company that I'm partial to, and it's because of their great solutions. They're thicker than average extrusions on the aluminum, and the high quality of the fit and finish of the end result. If you're not familiar with Reese, by all means, click on the link below this video to the manufacturer page where you can pull up their full-line product catalog and see all of the solutions that they have. It's definitely worth a look. Any questions on the Reese 202-203 interlocking weather strip and a dark bronze anodized finish, or any other Reese product, please feel free to reach out to us.